Áspero has been largely cleared, and excavations continue. Among the 4 sites featured in the video, Pinico is thought to be the youngest, dated to roughly 3,600 to 3,900 years ago.
Along the arid coastline of Peru, where the Pacific Ocean meets one of the driest deserts on Earth, a quiet archaeological reassessment is underway. For decades, this region was considered peripheral to the early story of civilization. While Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Indus Valley dominated discussions of humanity's first complex societies, Peru's coastal valleys were often treated as late developments, secondary to the Old World narrative. That assumption no longer holds. New research, careful excavation, and improved dating techniques are revealing that some of the oldest monumental architecture on Earth is not in the Middle East or North Africa, but in South America. And its scale, organization, and antiquity are forcing historians to rethink when and where complex human societies truly began.
If you have a straight ramp, which is leading up to the Great Pyramid, if it's going to carry blocks right up to what will be the top of the Great Pyramid, no gang of workers can haul a 20-ton block.
Stretching along Peru's central coast are a series of ancient urban centers built not from stone blocks or fired brick, but from earth, reed, and carefully engineered fill. These are not simple villages or ceremonial mounds. They are full-fledged pyramid cities, featuring large stepped platforms, sunken circular plazas, residential zones, and carefully planned layouts that indicate centralized coordination. Among the most significant of these sites are Caral, Bandurria, Áspero, and Pampa de las Llamas-Moxeke. Each tells part of a larger story, one that places Peru among the earliest cradles of civilization. Caral, located in the Supe Valley about 120 miles north of modern Lima, is the best known. When systematic excavations began in the 1990s under the leadership of Peruvian archaeologist Ruth Shady Solis, the results were unexpected. Radiocarbon dating of organic material embedded within the pyramid fills consistently returned dates between roughly 5,000 and 4,600 years ago. This places Caral's earliest monumental construction at around 3000 BCE. That date is not marginally early. It is contemporaneous with the first dynasties of Egypt and the earliest ziggurats of Mesopotamia. In some cases, it may even precede them. The city of Caral covers more than 150 acres and includes at least 6 large pyramidal platforms, some rising more than 60 feet high. These structures were built in stages, expanded and renovated over centuries. Their builders used a sophisticated construction technique involving woven reed bags filled with stones known as shikra, which provided stability and earthquake resistance. This method demonstrates not only engineering knowledge, but long-term planning. Equally striking is what Caral lacks. There is no evidence of defensive walls, no weapons, no signs of large-scale warfare. Instead, the city appears to have been organized around ritual, administration, and economic coordination. Large plazas suggest communal gatherings. The pyramids appear aligned with astronomical events, including solstices and equinoxes, indicating a developed understanding of celestial cycles. Nearby Bandurria tells a similar story. Located closer to the coast, Bandurria consists of multiple stepped platforms and plazas arranged in a deliberate layout. Radiocarbon dates place its earliest phases within the same broad time window as Caral, reinforcing the conclusion that this was not an isolated experiment, but part of a wider cultural tradition along the Peruvian coast. Further south lies Áspero, perhaps the most revealing sight of all. When researchers first visited Áspero in the early 1990s, it was almost entirely buried beneath a municipal rubbish dump from the nearby town of Supe. Few suspected that anything significant lay underneath. What excavation revealed was a dense concentration of monumental structures, including pyramidal mounds and ceremonial spaces, built directly adjacent to the ocean. Radiocarbon dating showed that Áspero's earliest constructions date back as far as 5,700 years ago, making it one of the oldest known urban centers in the world. This pushed the origins of complex society in the Americas back by more than a millennium beyond what most scholars had previously accepted. Áspero also provided key insight into how these societies sustained themselves. Unlike riverine civilizations such as Egypt or Mesopotamia, which depended heavily on agriculture supported by seasonal floods, Peru's coastal civilizations developed in an environment where rainfall is minimal. Instead, they relied on a mixed economy combining irrigated agriculture in inland valleys with intensive exploitation of marine resources. Fish, shellfish, and sea mammals provided abundant protein. Cotton grown inland was used to produce fishing nets and textiles, creating an interdependent system linking coast and valley. This economic model challenges long-standing assumptions that large-scale agriculture was a prerequisite for early urbanism. In Peru, complex society appears to have emerged without pottery, without metal tools, and without domesticated animals for labor. Yet it achieved monumentality, social organization, and long-term continuity. The site of Pampa de las Llamas-Moxeke, located further north in the Casma Valley, represents a slightly later phase of this tradition. Dated to roughly 3,600 to 3,900 years ago, it is considered younger than Caral, Bandurria, and Áspero. However, its scale is immense. Two massive pyramidal structures dominate the landscape, separated by a wide ceremonial avenue. Their construction suggests a continuation and expansion of the same architectural and social principles established centuries earlier. What emerges from these sites is a picture of a civilization that developed independently, following its own trajectory. There is no evidence of contact with the old world, no borrowed technologies, no imported ideas. Yet the outcomes, urban planning, monumental architecture, astronomical awareness, and social stratification, are unmistakably comparable. This forces a reconsideration of how civilization is defined. For much of the 20th century, scholars believed that complex societies required specific ingredients: cereal agriculture, metalworking, warfare, and centralized kingship.
However, Bandurria, Caral, and Áspero are significantly older. Radiocarbon dates place their earliest monumental constructions between approximately 5,700 and 4,600 years ago.
Peru's coastal pyramids demonstrate that none of these are strictly necessary. Human societies, given the right environmental opportunities and social incentives, can organize themselves in multiple ways. Equally important is what these discoveries imply about global chronology. If monumental architecture was being built in Peru at the same time as the earliest pyramids in Egypt and the earliest cities in Mesopotamia, then civilization did not arise from a single core region and spread outward.
The step pyramids of Caral, Bandurria, and Áspero are thus as old or older than the officially accepted dates for the oldest of the Egyptian pyramids, as old or older than the oldest ziggurats of ancient Mesopotamia.
It arose independently, in multiple places, under different conditions. That realization undermines diffusionist models that place the old world at the center of all innovation. It suggests instead that the human capacity for complex organization is far older and more universal than previously acknowledged. These Peruvian sites are not anomalies waiting to be explained away. They are well documented, rigorously dated, and increasingly integrated into mainstream archaeological discourse. Yet their implications remain underappreciated outside academic circles. Part of the reason lies in visibility. Unlike Egypt's stone pyramids, Peru's early monuments were built primarily from earth and organic materials. Over millennia, they eroded, blended into the landscape, and were sometimes reused or buried. In Áspero's case, they were literally covered with modern waste. Their rediscovery required persistence, local expertise, and a willingness to challenge entrenched assumptions. Another reason is narrative inertia. World history once written is slow to change. Textbooks lag behind evidence. Public imagination follows familiar landmarks. But archaeology is not static. Each excavation has the potential to rearrange the timeline. What is now clear is that Peru's ancient coastal cities deserve a central place in any serious account of humanity's early past. They demonstrate that complexity does not require conquest, that monumentality does not require metal, and that civilization is not the exclusive inheritance of a single region. These sites also raise deeper questions. Why did multiple civilizations around the world begin building monumental structures at roughly the same time? Were they responding to shared environmental pressures, astronomical cycles, social transformations tied to population growth and resource management? Or does this pattern point to deeper rhythms in human development that are only now being recognized? There are no simple answers, but what Peru offers is undeniable evidence that the story of civilization is broader, older, and more diverse than the traditional narrative allows. Along Peru's coast, beneath layers of sand and neglect, ancient cities waited patiently. They were not lost. They were overlooked. Now, as their pyramids emerge once more into view, they are quietly rewriting world history. Not through speculation, but through stone, earth, and time.
Will have an honored place in the new book I've been researching and writing for the past year.